Hello guys, welcome back to T-Virus Outbreak Chapter 3. I hope you all are enjoying the story so far, and I apologize that I'm getting it out so slow. Anyways, let's hop right into it. Chapter 3, Iden Mueller. Hello, Iden speaking again. After Stephen Kennedy gave the order, which was, you two get back to Lucas and Colin, and inform them of Burnside's find, I'll stay here and make sure nothing comes out of this hole. Burnside and I made our way back upstairs to the main floor. Instantly we ran into Colin and Lucas, who were sitting there chatting about what Lucas knew was happening. Supposedly, this virus that was affecting the family here was made by an unknown food that I was almost forced to eat. Okay, even more grateful that Lucas threw that plate at me, I groaned. Burnside found a pathway in the basement. You two? I told them before turning towards where we came from. Burnside, Colin, and Lucas all turned towards the same direction and followed me towards the basement. Once we have reunited with Kennedy, we all looked at him and he nodded, grabbing his handgun, flashlight. Kennedy would lead us down the path, him and I protecting our front, and Burnside and Lucas protecting our backs. After a few moments of walking, we entered a small room with a domed roof, light pouring down from a window in the center of it. Instantly, I glanced around the room and saw no sign of other beings besides my friends. Only thing I saw was a few puddles of mold and blood on the ground, which instantly made me gag a bit. Someone needs a whole house remake, Kennedy muttered, which echoed through the room. Nodding in agreement, I readied my gun as the mold started to bubble and crawl towards the middle of the room. One small group got split up in the room as the mold combined into one hideous creature, twice the size as the one Kennedy had killed on the stairs. Burnside pulled a minigun out from thin air and smirked. Kennedy pulls an axe out of nowhere, similar to the axe Burnside's dad had died with, as I'd heard from the stories. Yes, that was a frickin' Code Veronica reference. Sighing, I urged my left hand to mutate, my fingers growing into claws. Black stuff fell from my shoulder where the mutation starts. Colin and Lucas simply stand there as it was all they could do. This was the first battle that the three mutated agents would have to endure so far, me somehow being the monster's main target. The look on its face made me falter, though I still kept my courage. That thing is definitely aiming for me, I yelled, electricity now sparking through my mutated arm as I charge it. Yes, that is a frickin' Piers Nivens reference from RE6. The Stevens laughed a bit in fascination before Burnside started shooting at the creature. The bullets didn't seem to affect the creature any. Kennedy shook his head at Burnside's attempt before sprinting at the giant beast, readying his axe. At an alarming speed, the creature turns around and swings, hitting and launching Kennedy backwards into a wall, which he simply replies with a groan. I hear a sound similar to thunder come from my mutation, indicating to me that my attack was fully charged. Gulping, I aimed a claw at the beast, and a bolt of lightning shot out towards the creature, causing it to explode into millions of hunks of mold and meat. The smell was worse than anything anyone could imagine, mainly because no one has ever smelled it yet. It smelled as if someone had taken a very rotten egg and added it to a skunk spray, which actually made me, Kennedy, Burnside, Colin, and Lucas puke. Once I got the puke out of my system, I urged my mutations to return to the state they were before they mutated. Instantly, I stumbled. Guess that took a lot more out of me than I expected, I thought to myself, taking a few steps forward. I realized how quickly the smell had left the room. Kennedy rests an arm on my shoulder and smiles a bit. You did good for your first mutated attack, Mueller. I'm surprised you aren't already our rank. He states, Yeah, well, I'm quite a clumsy agent, sir, he I replied, looking down. So was I when I first joined, Kennedy said with a slight laugh before letting his face go serious once more. The weapons that Burnside and Kennedy had pulled out seems to have vanished, as I am now unable to see either. We should get moving, guys. I don't like the sound coming from where we came from, Lucas grunted, rushing to the other end of the room before cupping his ear and listening. I couldn't agree more, Lucas, Kennedy said, walking past Lucas into the second path. Burnside looked at me and smiled, giving a thumbs up. We'll kill this virus, he exclaimed. I would glance back at Colin, who was acting as if he has never seen anything like what had just happened. You okay, Colin? You're looking a little pale, I stated out. Colin nodded, slicking his dirty blonde hair back. Yeah, I'm fine, Aiden. Just was hoping that I'd get to join in, Colin said, nodding. I looked towards Kennedy and rushed towards him. Hey, Kennedy, I haven't got the chance to see your mutation yet, I whispered to him. Only people who have is Burnside, Colin, and my father. And a few other people back in Cooner City, Kennedy replied in a mutter as we all walked. I see. When we get back to base, and if we still have these viruses in us, I want a one-on-one, Kennedy. Mutations only, I ordered, hoping that he would at least agree. Very well, Mueller, he replied, and we walked into another basement-like room. Our flashlights helped a lot, though I expect them to die soon. Kennedy would sigh and mutter the words, These dark basements are really getting annoying, chuckling and nodding in agreement. I glanced around, hoping to see a staircase. A moment later, I spotted the stairs, though I could have sworn that I looked there already. Shrugging it off, I would walk towards the stairs and start climbing them. The stairs had an ominous aura around it as I climbed it. Once at the top, I pushed open the door and was blinded by sunlight. Oh, shit, it's so bright, I gasped out once my vision started working again. Stepping out of the stairs hallway, I realized that we're surrounded by glass walls and plants all over on tables. We're in a greenhouse. A freaking greenhouse. I butchered that word. Freaking greenhouse, Burnside growled. As soon as he said that, a Venus flytrap bit his arm. I laughed a bit as he grabs it by its stem, pulls it out of its soil, and throws it at the wall. Kennedy would walk toward the closest door to him, which led outside, thankfully. We all got outside and glanced around, finding out that we are no longer at the Baker house. Where? I muttered to myself. Colin pulls his GPS and blinks before showing us. It showed that we were all on a small island in the Pacific Ocean. How the hell? One minute we were in Louisiana, next we're here. Most peculiar. I want to know what the hell has happened. Ooh, mansion, Burnside exclaimed. Shaking my head, I start walking towards the mansion's doors, pulling my handgun out. I would knock once and wait a moment or two before resting my hand gently against the doors and starting to push on it, which opened quite easier than I expected. Lucas seems to have vanished because as soon as we all took a step in, we realized he wasn't with us. Great, where'd Crazy Agent vanish to? I asked right before the mansion door shut. Ignoring this, Kennedy turns towards a massive hallway in front of us, which actually reminded me of the start of a maze. So, not my lucky day, Kennedy grunts, walking forward. You're the one who decided to come save my hide, Kennedy, I stated out to him, starting to follow. Colin and Burnside would follow as well. We stop when there's a fork in the hallway, 4 different paths. Should we split up? I asked, but Kennedy shook his head. We stick together, guys. You never know what can be lurking around the corners of this place, he said, though Burnside runs down the furthest left hallway without any of us. Glancing around, I noticed that he has gone missing. Where's Burnside? I asked bluntly. And that's chapter 3 done. I'm sorry it was so short. Pretty sure that chapter... There's 2 more chapters left after this one. I'll go ahead and do chapter 4 for you guys. Chapter 4, Stephen L. Kennedy. Really, Burnside? Where the hell did you run off to this time? I asked myself, looking at the halls, shaking my head. My head? Not hedge. I urged my eyes to mutate, allowing me to see Burnside's remaining scent. Found which way he went, I exclaimed before starting to follow the scent. Iden and Colin would follow me, seemingly ready for anything to pop out of around the corner. I skidded to a stop when I noticed that one of the halls seemed to be completely destroyed, mainly by mold and blood, but the walls were cracked and had chunks taken out of them as if a battle had taken place here. Yup, Burnside totally ran past here, I grunted, reaching for my handgun. Iden slightly gagged. Why do these creatures smell gross every time they die? He asked. To show that it was recently killed, Colin guessed. Shrugging, I carefully walked past the mold and blood, still focusing on Burnside's scent. After a small search, we hear Burnside complaining to himself. It's like they're treating us like we're test monkeys. We are not monkeys, I smell bananas, were his exact words. We finally caught up to Burnside, and I launch a punch at him. He catches it without looking. What's up, Kennedy? He asks before looking at me. Do not what's up, Kennedy, me. You ran off without telling us where, Burnside, I said in reply to him. He nods and looks towards where he was headed. Surely you sensed that up ahead, too, Kennedy, he says, hoping that I did. Sure enough, I sensed something enormous from the direction Burnside was looking. How did I not sense this earlier? I asked myself in my mind. Iden shifted uneasily on his feet. All right, then, guess I'm not crazy, he stated silently. Twirling my handgun, I would holster it and start creeping my way in the direction. Nothing could make my day worse than man-eating wolves, which are exactly what we bumped into after almost an hour of creeping. As soon as one caught our odor, the beast turned toward us and ran at us. The fiend lunged at me and sunk its its fangs, sliced through my leather sleeve and sunk right into my arm, causing me to heave in pain. Burnside threw a pine cone at the wolf, which knocked it out, though I had to pry its fangs out of my skin and jacket. Stupid wolves, every mission! I squeaked out, trying to stop the blood. Already there was the scent similar to metal in the air around us. Howling could be heard in the distance, and I scowled at the sound. Great, more of those things, I mused. More of the wolves' battle cries sounded to our left, seeming to be on the other side of the wall. Glaring in the direction, I urged my arm to heal quickly before taking on my enhancements. Colin would smirk a bit. Come on, guys, leave these monstrosities to me. You three go on ahead, he ordered, and I, being a rank below him, bobbed my head before racing towards a wall and leveling it. In case you didn't know, level is another word for demolish. After demolishing the wall, Nemesis, another one of this evil group's Umbrella Corporation's BOWs, which I guess they sent to hunt us. A BOW is a bioorganic weapon that is used for utter destruction. An Umbrella Corporation, that is just a lab that created viruses and whatnot, which is how zombies and BOWs were created. Anyways, back to the story. Only having half a minute, I dove to my right, dodging the Nemesis barrage of bullets. The Nemesis was pulling a Burnside. It was pulling a Burnside and was carrying a minigun. The bullets got Iden and Burnside. Iden tumbled to the ground, bleeding out, possibly thinking that he was dying. Burnside just stood there watching the bullets fly through him, the lacerations instantly mending back together. He then looked up at the Nemesis and gave a slight sneer. You want to play it that way, huh? He challenged before pulling out his own minigun. Crawling over to Iden, I stand and pick him up. He lets out a whimper as his bullet holes start healing. Here's the thing, when you are new to the healing enhancement, it burns like crazy. Burns, doesn't it, Mueller? You'll eventually get used to that, I promise, I expressed without delay. I rushed towards the other end of the room, evading the Nemesis, who seems to be irritated. The nemesis aimed at us, but Burnside shot the monster's weapon from its hand, and even took its hands off. Burnside chuckled and gave a thumbs up. Hurry and flee, bro. Seems it's a storming on the game. Ignore that. Nodding, I sprinted through the hole, though I stopped when I realized that there was a giant drop-off leading to the water down below. Dang it, really? Okay then, brace for impact, Titan, I ordered as I tossed Titan towards the water. There was a loud splash as he hit the water, gulping. Gulping, I dove in after him and felt coldness and then numbness. I hit the water with a belly buster and instinctively kicked the water repeatedly, though my sense of direction was a little screwed up at the moment. Okay. Next episode is going to be the last chapter. So, I hope you guys enjoyed those 2 chapters. And let me know what you think in the comments below of the story so far, I guess. I'm currently typing up a prequel to this, which explains the fucking Kunra City incident, which is essentially just Raccoon City. Anyways, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see y'all in the next chapter. Bye!